Hello students, this is Mohammed Zaheem, Assistant Professor, Department of Forensic Science and Technology, School of Allied Health Science, Vinayaga Missions Research Foundation, deemed to University, Salem. Today, the topic of discussion is crime scene management. Now, let's look at the overview of the session. First, introduction part will be there. Next, need of crime scene management. Why we need the crime scene management, then protection of crime scene, how to protect the crime scene effectively, documentation of crime scene, searching for the evidence, collection of evidence, packaging, labeling and preservation, transportation of evidence into forensic science laboratories, chain of custody, and we end with conclusion. Before we start the session, let's start with a wonderful quote. A crime scene well managed is the first step toward justice well served. You'll get to know more about when I'm going to end the session. So let's start with the introduction. Crime scene management refers to the systematic process of securing, preserving, documenting, and examining a crime scene to ensure that physical evidence is not lost, contaminated, or altered. See, it is crime scene management is the overall procedure that we are doing, a forensic expert is doing when after his arrival of the crime scene. It is a critical component of criminal investigation as the quality of evidence collected at the scene directly influence the accuracy of forensic analysis and the outcome of legal proceeding. See, the forensic expert, the main duty of the forensic expert to provide the justice to the public. So it is a critical component. This crime scene management is a critical component of the overall subject of forensic science. The primary objective of crime scene management is to maintain the integrity of the scene from the moment the crime is discovered until the investigation is completed. See, this is a very important topic. This is a very important point in crime scene management. From the starting, from a crime is reported to the justice delivery in front of the magistrate, we have to work hard. As a forensic expert, we have to work hard continuously. This involves prompt response by first responding officers, establishing control over the area, protecting the potential evidence, and ensuring the safety of personnel and public. See, if any crime happened, the public will call. They will not call directly into the forensic science. They will call the investigative officer. The first responding officer will arrive in the scene. The proper coordination among police officers, forensic experts, medical personnel, and legal authorities is essential for effective scene management. See, not only the forensic expert, for effective crime scene management, we need a coordination from police officers, magistrate, district judge, different magistrate will be there, medical personnel, doctors will be arriving at the scene. So it is a teamwork. Crime scene management is a teamwork. A well-managed crime scene allows investigators to reconstruct events, identify suspects and victims, and establish links between individuals, objects, and locations. See, the main objective of the crime scene management is to identify the suspect and victim. You also want to identify and reconstruct the event, what are the different events that took place in that particular crime. Now, errors in crime scene management such as improper handling of evidence or inadequate documentation can compromise investigation and lead to miscarriages of justice. See, we are playing with the justice. At the end of the day, we the forensic expert, the main motive of the forensic science itself, delivery of the justice to the public, because dead can't speak. We, the forensic scientists, want to speak for the dead person. So it's very important when it comes to the crime scene management, the errors in crime scene management. Now, the next point you can see that therefore adherence to standard operating procedures and establishing control over the area and legal guidelines is a vital in all stages of crime scene management. Now, the core part of the session, how to manage a crime scene. The stages of crime scene management include the first one you can see, protection of crime scene, documentation of crime scene, searching of crime scene, collection for evidence, packaging, labeling, and preservation, transportation, and the last one it is chain of custody. Now let's move to the need of crime scene management. See, why we need to manage the crime scene effectively. What is the need? The first one you can see that preservation of evidence. The effective crime scene management prevents loss, contamination, or destruction of physical evidence such as fingerprints, bloodstains, weapons, and trace materials. Next one, maintaining the integrity of the scene, securing and controlling protecting the crime scene ensures that only authorized personnel enter the area, thereby maintaining the original condition of the scene. The third one, you can see that accurate reconstruction of events, proper documentation and systematic examination of the scene helps investigators understand how the crime actually happened. See, so the preservation of evidence is very important. Maintaining the integrity, we have to maintain the integrity of the evidence. Next one, it is accurate the reconstruction of events. And the fourth one, you can see that legal admissibility of evidence, very important point. The admissibility means in order to get for an evidence to get admission in front of the court, in front of the magistrate, it have to achieve certain criteria. That is, evidence collected through proper procedures is more likely to accepted in a court of law, strengthening the prosecution or defense. There is certain criteria to enter a particular evidence in front of the magistrate. If it is not following that particular criteria, the judge, the magistrate, the prosecution will not accept this particular evidence. So that is the legal admissibility of the evidence. Admissibility is nothing but entering into the court of law, entering into the magistrate. Then the fifth point, you can see that identification of victims and suspects, very important. Well managed scene provide crucial clues that assist in identifying victims, suspects and witness. At the end of the day, what forensic science have to do? The forensic science have to bring suspected person in front of the law. They have to bring in front of the law, and they have to give appropriate punishment under the Indian different acts are there. Now the sixth one, you can see that avoidance of investigative errors. The following standard crime scene management protocols reduces mistakes that could mislead investigations or cause wrongful conviction. See, we are humans, will make mistake, but the effective crime scene management will bring that there will be, we have to avoid the as possible the evidence, as possible the errors that will achieve in the evidence. Now the seventh one, you can see that ensuring safety. Crime scene management helps protect investigators, first responders and the public from potential hazard present at the scene. See, when it comes to the explosive case, there is a chance of post-explosion, even the main explosion. After the main explosion, there is a chance of post-explosion. So we want to take our safety beyond, because we can't take any risk. We are also forensic expert, are also human. So safety ensuring, as an effective crime scene management, they will provide ensuring safety. They will give us a safety at its peak level. Then the eighth one, you can see that coordination among agencies. It facilitates effective communication and teamwork between police, forensic experts, medical personnel and legal authorities. I already mentioned that it is a teamwork. The crime scene management is a teamwork. Alone forensic expert can't complete the effective crime scene management. We need the help from police personnel, that is investigative officer. We need the help from medical personnel, that is doctors, MBBS doctors. Then we need permission or letter of recommendation from the magistrate also. So it is a teamwork. It is a teamwork on the crime scene management. Now let's come to the effective crime scene management. First one, it is protection of the crime scene. The first and very important point, it is protection of crime scene. The protection of a crime scene is a crucial step in crime scene management aimed at preserving the scene in its original condition until all relevant evidence is properly collected and documented. Immediately after the discovery of a crime, the first responder has the primary responsibility to secure and protect the scene. See, the first responding officer, the majority of the case, it is police investigative officer. If anything happened, for example, if anything happened this Salem city, the public will call. If the public will call the Salem police station, and from the police station, the investigating officer will arrive at the scene. So the first responding officer, in the majority of the case, the first responding officer is the police personnel, investigative officer. Now let's move to the next point. This involves identifying the boundaries of the crime scene and restricting access to authorized personnel only. Physical barriers such as police, tape, ropes or barricades are used to establish inner and outer perimeter. How they will protect the crime scene? You can like in the movies, you will be able to see there will be having a tape, that is police line do not cross, that is yellow and black tape will be there. So they will use that tape. In some cases, if the crime scene is very big, they will use the barricade. They will also use rope. So these are the different technique that is used for the protection of the crime scene. It is nothing but we can use tape, normal tape, police line do not cross, then rope, normal rope you can use, then the barricade. Protecting the crime scene also includes safeguarding all forms of evidence, physical, biological, trace and digital, from environmental factors like rain, wind, fire or heat, as well as from human interference. See, in this point, I'm saying that there will be a different type of evidence. Physical evidence will be there, biological evidence will be there, digital evidence will be there. So we also want to look to the weather of that particular area. If it is raining, we want to like tie a tent. If it is winding, if it is firing, if it is eating, so we want to work accordingly. Next one, measures such as covering evidence, controlling lighting and ventilation, and preventing unnecessary movement with the scene are essential. Then avoid the unnecessary movement throughout the crime scene. Why? There is a chance of contamination, because what the main principle, basic principles of forensic science is Locard principle of exchange. What Locard principle of exchange? What Locard is saying, everything leaves a trace. When two objects comes in contact with each other, then there will be exchange of matter. So beware, this point is very important when you are studying the forensic science. Everything, when two objects comes in contact with each other, then there will be a transfer of material. So the next point you can see that maintaining a scene entry and exit log is another important aspect of crime scene protection. It records the details of every person who enters or leaves the scene, ensuring accountability and helping to preserve the chain of custody. See, we want to enter the details of who are the person who is entering into the crime scene, who are the person is exiting from the crime scene. See, police will be there, the medical officers will be there, different type of like the panchayat municipality members will be there. So we want to maintain a logbook. Next one, the last point, you can see that proper protection of the crime scene ensures the integrity and reliability of the evidence, aids accurate reconstruction of events and enhances the credibility. At the end of the day, what we want as a forensic expert, we need to maintain the integrity of the evidence. Why? Because the magistrate, the judge will take the decision upon the evidence which is collected by us, that is the forensic expert. The report made by the expert, by that particular report only, the magistrate, the judge will give what is statement. So it is very important when it comes to the integrity and reliability of the evidence. Now the next second one, it is documentation of crime scene. See, after the successful protection of crime scene, we are moving to documentation of crime scene. See, in the documentation, there are major task of documentation includes photography is there, videography, sketching and note taking. These are the four major things when it comes to the documentation of crime scene. First, let's look to photography. The photography is a vital component of crime scene documentation, as it provides a permanent visual record of scene exactly as it was found. With the help of a digital camera, there will be a separate position, that is digital photographer will be there, or you can call it as a forensic photographer. So forensic photographer will take photos of the crime scene, and there are different type of photographs. That is, first you can see that overall photographs. These photographs capture the entire scene and its surrounding. They establish the location, entry and exit points and the general condition of the scene. The overall photograph, in the name itself it's there. We will get in a single look, we will get the wide range of crime scene all in a single shot. Next one, it is mid-range photographs. In mid-range photographs, this shows the position of evidence in relation to fixed objects such as furniture, doors or walls, helping to establish the spatial relationship. This point is nothing but it is a mid-range photograph. There is the evidence will be there. We can identify we can measure the distance. For example, the distance between the furniture and door, if the distance between the wall and windows, etc. Now close-up photographs. In close-up photographs, the close-up image focus on individual piece of evidence. See, the individual evidence in the full frame, only one particular evidence will be there. For example, if knife, there will be a close-up shot of knife. They are taken both with and without a scale to show size, details and identifying features. We will take with by using the scale and without using the scale. By why we are using the scale? To measure the distance, to measure the distance. Now let's look to the objective of the crime scene photography. What is the main motive? What is the main focus of this crime scene photography? First one, you can see that to accurately record crime scene before it disturbed. We want to record the crime scene. Next one, to document the location, condition and relationship of evidence. Next one, to support investigation, analysis and reconstruction, and to present clear and reliable visual evidence in court. See, this is a reliable and visual evidence in court because it is a picture, it's a pictorial representation of the crime scene. Then the next procedure when it comes to the documentation is videography. Videography is an important method of crime scene documentation that provides a continuous and dynamic visual record of the scene. Unlike photographs, videography captures movement, sequence and spatial relationships. See, just opposite to the photography. In photography, we'll only get the photos, the fixed photos. But when it comes to the videography, with the same digital camera, we are shooting the crime scene. Each and corner of the crime scene we will be shoot. That is a motion of pictures. We'll get the motion of pictures. Now the third point, you can see that provide a general orientation of scene, like wide angle will give overall view of crime scene. It will give the overall view of crime scene. The original videos are evidence and should not be altered or changed. Make copies when needed. See, here the original videos, you are not supposed to alter that particular footage because it is a real evidence. It is a real footage that is shot by a forensic officer. If you want to make copies, you can make copies, but you are not supposed to alter that particular footage. Next one, it is sketching. Crime scene sketching is a crucial method documentation that provides a clear, sealed and accurate representation of the crime scene. Unlike photographs and videography, sketches show measurements, distance and spatial relationship in a simplified and understandable form. See, in the sketching, in the name itself, it's there. We want to sketch the crime scene. There are objectives of the crime scene. You can see to record the exact location, to show the distance between the object, to support crime scene reconstruction, to clarify the spatial relationship. See, there are different type of sketching: rough sketch and finished sketch. In the name itself, it's there. What is rough sketch? Rough sketch, it's a drawn roughly in the crime scene. After the examination, the forensic expert will draw whatever he is seeing in front of his eyes. He will draw a rough sketch. It contains notes, evidence numbers and essential details. Then the next one is finished. You can also call it as final sketch. It's prepared later using the rough sketch, drawn to scale and neatly presented, used for reports and court proceeding. That is, with the help of rough sketch, we will be using this finished sketch. We will be using this rough sketch for the finished sketch. Okay. Now let's move to the methods of sketching. There are different type of methods of sketching. First one, you can see that coordinate method. Coordinate method is the use of practice of measuring an object from two fixed point of the reference. See, in the picture you can see that there is a two squares are there. That is nothing but non-point. That is non-point. From the non-point we are measuring. The star is evidence, so you can measure the distance between the evidence. So the baseline could also be a wall or mathematically derived point along a designated area where exact measurement can be determined. The measurement of a particular item are then taken from the left. It is nothing but there will be a two non-point will be there. For example, you can consider that one square as a window and the next square as a door. So we will be measuring with the help of measuring tape and we will be calculating the distance. Then the next one, it is triangulation method. The triangulation method is a bird's eye view. That is, when we are looking from the top, how the birds will see the crime scene of the scene that uses fixed object from which to measure. This is a particularly useful sketching outdoor crime scene. It is very important. We are using this particular triangulation method in outdoor crime scene where there are no easily identifiable points of reference. In this procedure, two or more widely separated points of reference are required. The item of interest is then located by measuring along a straight line from the reference point. You can see that there is a building and there is a store. The victim body is found, it's there. So it is a very long distance is very long. So we'll measure the building to the body and the body to the store, and we will calculate the distance. This particular, see, this is a kind of triangle. So that's why it is called as triangulation method. Then the next one is cross projection method. In cross projection method is used to indoor crime scene. See, very important, in triangulation method we are using it for outdoor crime scene, very big crime scene. In cross projection method we are using it for indoor crime scene. It is basically a top down view of crime scene. See, in the image you can see that it's a top view of the crime scene. You can see the windows are there, bed, mattress, sofa is there. A person who is looking from the top view, that is called a cross projection method. Next one is note taking. Note taking is a fundamental part of crime scene documentation. It provides a written chronological record of observation, actions taken and conditions present at the crime scene. See, the word chronological is very important. We will be having a notepad and we will be taking the note first after A, then B, then C, like a chronological order. Accurate notes support photographs, videography and sketches and are essential for investigation and court proceeding. This note taking is considered as a supportive evidence. In the earlier slide, I already explained that photography, videography, sketching. This note taking will stand as a supportive evidence to the photograph, videograph and sketching. Now the objective of the crime scene note taking include to record observation exactly they are seen, to document actions taken by investigators at the scene, to preserve details that may not be visible in photographs or videos, to maintain continuity and credibility of investigation. Next, the third part of the crime scene management is searching for evidence. So first one is protection of crime scene. You are protected with the help of tape, police line do not cross tape, barricade, rope, etc. After that you documented what are the things you documented. Photography is there, videography is there, sketching is there, note taking. Now the third part of the crime scene management is searching for evidence. Searching for evidence. You have to search for the evidence. See, the searching of evidence is a systematic and thorough process of locating, identifying and recovering physical evidence from a crime scene to establish fact and reconstruct the event. There are different type of crime scene searchings are there. First method of crime scene searching is line method. In line method, you can see that searchers move in straight parallel lines suitable for large outdoor areas like field. I will draw the diagram of the line method. See, here the searchers will move the straight and parallel lines. See, like this. They will start from one direction and they will move and they will come back and they will go again. Like this they will go. For example, this is a crime scene. This is a crime scene. Consider this as a crime scene. See, from one end they will go to another end and they will come back, and from the other end like a line method. See, this is a line, right? This is an arrow. So this type of searching method is called as what? Line or strip searching method. Next one is grid search. It is a double line search at right angles, more thorough than line search. It is more effective than line search. I will draw a diagram of the grid search. Consider this as a crime scene. So what the forensic expert will do? They will start from here and they will end here, like a line search method. They will start here, from end here, here also they will start and end here, and they will also move into this direction also, like a grid. See, there is a grid, right? These are the grid. So first they will move from this to this direction and they will complete that path, and from they will come back to the next side and they will go in this direction. So this particular searching method is called as grid method in the form of a grid. Then the next one is spiral search method. The spiral search method, circular movement inward or outward. There are two types of spiral search method, that is inward spiral search method and outward spiral search method. It is useful for scene with a single focal point, applied in indoor or outdoor crime scene. See, in spiral search method there is inward and outward. See, consider this like this. This is a what? Inward. They are starting from here and they will go like a what, like a inward spiral, like a spiral they will go, that is inward. Now outward will be outward, just opposite of this. Okay, now the zone or quadrant search method. Now in zone or quadrant search method, scenes are divided into different zones. See here, consider this as a room, and they will convert, see, they will convert into different zone. You can name it as zone 1, this is zone 2, this is zone 3, this is zone 4. See, it is very effective in indoor crime scene. If there is a like a robbery attempt, then there is a chance of many trace evidence, right? So it is easy for the collection of evidence if you convert this particular crime scene into different zones, zone 1, zone 2, like that. Now the wheel or array search method, the searchers move from center to periphery like a spoke. You know spoke, this is a spoke, like from the center they will move into outward like a wheel. See, like a wheel they will move, understood? Like this they will move from the center, they will move into the outward direction. That is called as wheel or array search method. Okay, next very important part of this session is collection of evidence. How to collect the evidence. So you protected the crime scene, you successfully documented the crime scene, you successfully searched for evidence. Now you have the evidence. Now you want to what? Next step, it is collecting the evidence in front of your eyes. There, yeah, you found an evidence. Now how to collect the evidence? Let's go to the slide. The collection of evidence refers to the careful and systematic recovery of physical materials from a crime scene for forensic examination, ensuring their integrity and admissibility in court. The collection means we have to carefully and systematic recovery of physical materials, physical evidence from a crime scene for forensic examination. See here, the integrity and admissibility in court, very important. We have to maintain the integrity. See, in all the procedures of the crime scene management, we have to maintain the integrity and admissibility in front of the court of law. Why? Because we, the forensic expert, are the main role to provide the justice to the public. Now you can see the methods of evidence of collection. It depends upon the evidence. First one you can see that cutting. Cutting means simple, it is a removing a section of the item containing the stain using a sterile or a clean cutting device. For example, if a fingerprint is there in a table and it is not able to like transfer, or it is not able to lift. So what we'll do, we'll cut that portion of the table and we'll carry that cutted portion into the forensic science laboratories. That is cutting. Next one is scraping. Scraping means evidence is scraped with the help of a sterile blade or scalpel into a clean piece of paper. That is, if for example, if anything like a dried blood stain is there in the table, so what we'll do, we'll scrap. See the instrument here, this is a scalpel or sterile blade. With the help of this instrument, we will scrap into a piece of paper and we will fold and will send into the forensic science laboratory. So this is another method of evidence collection. Next method is lifting with the tape. See, the lifting with the tape is mainly used for the fingerprint collection. Fingerprint lifting tape should be placed over dried blood stain and lifted off. See, for example, we'll come to know that the fingerprint is there as a bloody fingerprint is there. So what we'll do, we'll take the tape and we'll place it in above this particular evidence, that is bloody fingerprint, and we'll transfer into the acetate sheet. See, you can see in the diagram there is an acetate sheet and they will send to the forensic science laboratories. Now combing, it's a very simple technique. Clean comb can be used to take the trace evidence from the hair of the individual. For example, the GSR analysis in forensic science will say gunshot residue. If any gunshot residue, it is a powder, so there is a chance of accumulation of the powder in the head, then hair. Then how you will collect? Just comb with the help of a comb. Then you will send to the forensic science laboratories. That is combing. Next one is visual collection and clipping. Visual collection is whatever we are seeing in front of the eye, with our naked eye. You can collect with the help of hand and you can pack and you can send to the forensic science laboratories. Next one is vacuuming. Vacuuming, it is nothing but identified location of suspected evidence is vacuumed up and caught in a filtered trap and attached to the vacuum. With the help of a vacuum pump, you may come to see that vacuum pump you will be using in your house. So with the help of the vacuum pump, if there is more trace evidence, if there is fiber particle, if there is air strands, if there is like small particles, then we will be using this vacuum pump. We will be using this vacuum pump and the vacuum a particular area, and what we'll do, we'll take the evidence from where the filtered, the evidence will be accumulated in the filters. Then that is the vacuuming technique. Next one is swabbing technique. It is applied for biological evidence in a dry or liquid condition. The swabbing is a method of collection which is used for the biological evidence. See, there are two types, dried materials and wet materials. In dried materials, how you want to swab? Slightly moisten the swab with water. You just want to swab with the water. The stained area should be thoroughly swabbed with a single swab for small area. Then the next one is wet material. It should be swabbed and allowed to get absorbed on the swab, air dried, and placed in an appropriate container. See, in dried material, if it is in a dried material, you want to be moistened with the help of water and then swab and then pack and then send to the forensic science laboratories. If it is in wet material, it is already wet, we don't want to swab with water, just swab and allow it to air dry and send into the forensic science laboratories. Now the fifth point, it is packaging, labeling and preservation of evidence. See, protection is done, then documentation is done, then after documentation you searched for evidence, then you collected the evidence. So you have collected evidence in there. Now you want to pack that particular evidence, you want to label the evidence, you want to preserve the evidence. In this slide we will get to know how to pack, how to label and how to preserve the evidence. The first point, you can see that the packaging involves placing collected evidence in appropriate containers to prevent loss or contamination. Packaging is very important because we want to send to the forensic science laboratories. See, in the forensic science laboratories, the forensic experts will be analyzing this packed evidence which is collected by you, the forensic expert. So packaging based on the evidence type. There are different type of packaging evidence based on the evidence. Biological evidence, if it is a biological evidence like blood, saliva, semen, or you want to air dry and pack in paper envelopes. If it is a trace evidence means minute evidence like air, fibers, glass. It is small evidence. If it is a trace evidence, you want to pack in paper bundles placed inside envelopes. Now if it is a weapon, if it is a bulk evidence like firearm, then you have to be packed in cardboard boxes with a tie. Then if it is firearm, if it is a bullet, if it is a gun, you have to unload, because safety is the foremost thing. You want to unload that and you want to secure it in firearm box. Then labeling, you packed and now you want to label. What is labeling? Labeling is nothing but identity, giving an identity. Labeling provides identification and ensures proper chain of custody. See, the word identification is very important. Everyone have an identity. So evidence also want to give the identity. So labeling is the giving identification. See, the labeling information on evidence label, the information include case number will be there, then FIR number. FIR means first information report, description of item, date and time of collection, exact location where it is collected, name and signature of collected, which forensic expert collected this particular evidence, and seal number. There will be a unique seal number for a different forensic expert. Next one is preservation. Why we are doing preservation? To avoid the contamination. Preservation refers to protect evidence from physical, chemical or biological changes until examination. Here also one of the principles of forensic science is there. If you have studied like forensic science, you come to know everything changes with respect to time. Even it is man-made, even it is natural, everything will change with respect to time. So that's why we are doing the preservation, especially this biological evidence. They will act with the microorganism. So preservation is very important. A good preservation will give a good result. Now the methods of preservation. What are the different methods of preservation? First one is drying. You can go for drying. Biological stain must be air dried. Refrigeration. You can keep in refrigerator like blood, tissue, body fluid. Why? At the low temperature, the microorganism, there will be no action of the microorganism. Then freezing. You can freeze. If you want to store it for long-term preservation, then you can go for freezing. Now chemical preservatives. Normally, if you are working in forensic science laboratories, they will be using this chemical preservatives. For example, formalin for tissue. If you want to preserve blood, they will preserve in EDTA, ethylene diamine tetracetate. And the controlled environment. Controlled environment is nothing but cool, dry, dark storage. Different environmental factors are there. Now, the preservation by evidence type. If it is blood and body fluid, you want to cool and dry conditions. In DNA samples, paper packaging, refrigerated or frozen, explosives, flammables, in airtight containers away from heat. Documents, if it is a document, there are different type of documents will be there. Plastic sleeves, avoid folding. Then digital evidence, if it is a camera footage, CCTV footage, you want to go for shield from heat, moisture and electromagnetic field. Then the next one, it is transportation of evidence. So you protected the crime scene, you documented the crime scene, you searched for the evidence, you collected evidence, you labeled, and the labeling you preserved. Now what is your duty? You want to carry this particular evidence into the forensic science laboratories. That is transportation of the evidence. Transportation of evidence refers to the safe and secure movement of collected evidence from the crime scene to the forensic science laboratory or storage facility without altering, damaging or contaminating it. Without any alteration, without any damage, without any contamination. It's a duty of a forensic expert or investigating officer to get this particular evidence into the forensic science laboratories. There are different type of mode of transportation. First, commonly we are using this police vehicle. The police itself will transfer this particular evidence into the forensic science laboratories. That is commonly used with the secured evidence containers. Hand delivery is also there, courier or registered mail. When it's come to India, we are mainly using the police vehicles. Now, the next slide, it is objective. What is objective of this transportation? To preserve the integrity and originality of evidence, to prevent the contamination, to maintain an unbroken chain of custody. Now, what are the precautions you have to take when you are transporting the evidence into the forensic science laboratories? Avoid unnecessary delays in transportation, maintain proper environmental conditions like temperature, humidity, ensure only authorized personnel handle the evidence. Why? There is a chance of contamination. Here also Lockhart principle of exchange will come. Now the last point in the crime scene management is chain of custody. Chain of custody refers to the chronological documented process that tracks the seizure, custody, control, transfer, analysis and disposition of evidence from the time it is collected until it is present in court. Chain of custody is a form. It is a chain. It's like a chronological order. After A only you can go for B. After completion of B only you can go to C, then D, like that. After protection of the crime scene only you can go to what? The documentation. After successful documentation only you can go to the collection technique. After the successful collection you can pack. After packing only you can preserve. That is a chronological order. That's why it is appointed the chronological documented process, like a chain. After A, then B will come. After B, C will come. You can't go like after the protection you can like directly you can go for collection. No. According to forensic science, according to the procedures in forensic science, the chain of custody have to be a chronological order, like protection, after protection, documentation, like that. Now, what is the purpose of this chain of custody? To establish the authenticity and integrity of the evidence, to maintain the integrity, to maintain the value of evidence and to maintain the authenticity. The chain of custody plays a major role to ensure evidence has not been tampered or altered or substituted, because see, the evidence is not able to tampered, it's not be substituted, because we want to, the judge will only take the decision upon the forensic report which is given by the forensic expert. So make sure that it is not tampered, it is not altered, it is not substituted with any other particles. Then the next one, it is to make evidence legally admissible in court. In order to enter evidence in a court, there should be certain criteria. So that is to make the evidence legally admissible in court. Next one is chain of custody. I already told that chain of custody is a form. This form includes case number, description of evidence will be there, seal number will be there, date and time of collections will be there, from whom received and to whom transferred, signatures and dates. Okay, now the importance of the chain of custody. The breaks or gaps in the chain can weaken or invalidate evidence in court, demonstrates professional handling and accountability, ensures transparency in forensic investigation. So these are all the effective crime scene management procedures. First, what is first one? First one, it is nothing but protection of the crime scene. Then the next one it is documentation of the crime scene. Documentation consisting of photography is there, videography is there, sketching is there, note taking is there. Then the third one it is the searching for the evidence. You want to search for the evidence. There are different type of searching method. Then the next one it is after the successful searching you can collect the evidence. Depend upon the evidence you can collect the evidence. Then the next one it is you want to pack the collected evidence. Then after that you want to label the evidence, you want to give the identity to the evidence. Then the next one you have to preserve. Then after the preservation, packing, collection, you want to transport, you want to send that particular final amount, final evidence, final product into the forensic science laboratories. So and after that it is chain of custody. You want to like chronologically document all the event from the protection to the transportation of the evidence into the laboratories. Now let's move to the conclusion. Effective crime scene management is fundamental to the success of any forensic investigation. It is the main part, integral part of the forensic investigation, that is crime scene management. We want to properly manage the crime scene, whatever the case, whether it is arson case, whether it is rape case, whether it is murder case, you want to follow the same procedures. Now the proper securing, documentation, collection, preservation and transportation of evidence ensures that the integrity of the crime scene is maintained. When you are properly secured a particular crime scene, you documented a crime scene, you collected, you preserved and you transported, then you can say that 100% you can say that you can ensure that integrity of the crime scene is maintained. Now meticulous adherence to standard procedures and an unbroken chain of custody prevent contamination, loss or tampering of evidence. Why we are following these procedures like a chain of custody? To avoid the contamination, to prevent the alteration, to lose the tampering of the evidence. Now well managed crime scenes provide reliable forensic findings, support accurate reconstruction of events and strengthen the evidentiary value in court of law. See, if you are managed a crime scene properly, you are the future forensic expert. So if you manage the crime scene properly, you can say that I can deliver the justice to the public in front of the court also. Ultimately, systematic and professional crime scene management strengthens the reliability of forensic findings, support the judicial process and contributes significantly to delivery of the justice. Forensic science stands as a beacon of truth, motivating society to uphold integrity, accountability and justice in every action. So what is forensic science? Forensic science is the branch of science which uses for the purpose of law. We are helping the criminal investigation with the help of science, pure science. It is a multidisciplinary. It is not a unidisciplinary. It is a multidisciplinary. What is multidisciplinary? It is a group of science. Will be using the pure applications of chemistry, physics, biology, botany, etc. So that is a multidisciplinary science. If you are using the basic principles of chemistry for the analysis of poison, then it is called as forensic chemistry. If you are using the basic principles of physics for the refractive index to identify the refractive index of the glass, then it is called as forensic physics. If you are using the basic principle of pure biology to help the DNA analysis, DNA comparison, then it is called as forensic biology. So in conclusion, we can say that forensic science stands as a multidisciplinary scientific discipline that integrates diverse fields of science to support the criminal justice system. See, at the end of the day, what we are doing, we are supporting the criminal justice system. We are helping the investigative officer that integrates and ensuring the accurate investigation, informed judicial decision and the effective delivery of the justice to the society. By giving this, by effective the crime scene management, by collecting the evidence, by preserving, by giving the forensic report, what we are doing, we are delivering the justice to the public. See, we are delivering the justice to the society. So as a conclusion, I can say that the forensic science, it's a group of science. If you are good at chemistry, if you are good at physics, if you are good at biology, then you can explore this particular field, because it's a very vast topic. It is a very vast subject. So in forensic science, the crime scene management is a very integral part. So that's about the session. Thank you students for watching my video. May the forensic science inspire you to uphold the truth and justice to the public. Thank you.